Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Matthew's Sports Talk. I know it's been a minute. Just got a lot of things going on in life right now. So pretty much what happened was I quit my job in retail and actually trying to pursue life in photography. So Instagram handle is Matthew Hamelman Photography. So yeah, look it up. So yeah, we got a few things I know I was going to talk about previously before, everything kind of went all to whack. So let's start out by talking about the Minnesota Twins. As you can see, there's some new additions to the wall. I got a retro Vikings banner from my dad's house. I also got a throwback TJ Hawkinson jersey, and then I actually one sec. I got the Minnesota Twins City jersey, which I wore to the game last night, and it was sweaty and crappy, so I washed it. Now it's drying out, so yeah, there's the new additions. But let's talk about the overall state for the Twins. First off, last night, oh my God, did I almost watch a miracle. Down 8 runs in the bottom of the 9th, the Twins pulled within 1 off of a Carlos Correa grand slam that, trust me, this can be verified. I was with people. I freaking called C4 time right before he came up to the plate. And wouldn't you know it? Boom! Out of the park. I literally had, oh yeah, this is it's one of the beer bats that they sell at the stadium. But yeah, literally, I had one of these in my hand and I was like, boom, it's gone. So yeah, there's that. And then you got guys like Jose Miranda. He's on, I think he missed a hit today, but he was on a 12 plate appearance hitting streak. I'm like, good God, that guy's hot. And then Royce Lewis has been good, but of course he's injured again. Fucking goddamn it. They called up Brooks Lee. Brooks Lee is doing wonderful. So yeah, I mean, right now you got the Twins sitting at 11 games over 500 at 50-39. Still 6 games behind the Guardians. But if we go to the league standings. So yeah, I mean, we are unfortunately in 5th place, and of course, who's in 4th place? The goddamn fucking Yankees. So the season we're in today, we would be playing them in the wild card series. So I'm like, oh, please God, no, please, because of course, all the games that the Twins played against the Yankees this year, they lost. So yeah, I'm hoping to God that Baltimore slips or the Yankees just do good enough to overtake Baltimore for the AL East lead. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I mean, I would just say once again, Twins need, before the trade deadline, they need to add us another rotation pitcher. I mean, the batting's doing good. Correa's doing great. Royce Lewis is doing great before he got injured. Buxton's doing decent. Brooks Lee, there is guys all up and down that lineup that can produce. It's the pitching that fucking bothers me, because obviously we lost Sonny Gray to free agency. Why we didn't re-sign him, I have no idea. Pablo Lopez is having a down year. Who do we have starting? I think it was Louis Varland was in the rotation at the start of the season. He got sent down to AAA and hasn't come back up since. But right now our rotation, I know, is Pablo, who, like I said, he's having an off season. He currently has an ERA of I think 4.75. You got Ryan, he's having a decent year. I think he's just under 4. You got Ober, he's doing all right. You got Woods Richardson, which I don't know why he wasn't in the rotation to start the season. He's actually done pretty decently. If I can go back. Whoop, not that far back. Roster. Trying to remember who the other rotation pitcher we have right now is. I don't think we have one. Let's see, depth chart. Oh no, here we're good. Oh no, it's technically Paddock, but he's on the injured list. So right now it's Lopez, Ryan, Ober, Woods, Richardson. Oh yeah, that's right. I think I remember the last time that Paddock was supposed to start, it turned into a bullpen game, which bullpen games never excite me because usually one guy can't stay on enough to get hot, and usually they're not used to seeing some of these guys. So anyway, that's the state of the Twins. Briefly look at their overall state of the MLB. So yeah, the AL East, you got Baltimore in first with the Yankees 2 games behind them, and then the Red Sox 7.5 games behind. Central, Guardians. Why the fuck? I don't understand. Guardians are just, it perplexes me. Well, honestly, if the Twins didn't need a rotation pitcher, they should trade for goddamn Steven Kwan. Because that guy can just hit the ball. He's not a power hitter, but he can hit the ball. I would honestly send Cleveland probably Trevor Larnach, infielder prospect, not Royce Lewis, not Brooks Lee, but just an infield prospect, and a pitching prospect for Steve Kwan. Because that guy can fucking hit. So. And then, yeah, so the Twins are 6 games behind the Guardians, and then Royals are 9 games behind. The West, you got Seattle. And then Houston, 2 games behind. Texas, 7 games behind. And then in the NL, we got the East. Got the Phillies, who are just absolutely kicking ass. And then you got the Braves, 9 games behind. Central, you got the Brewers. And then the Cardinals, who are 5 games behind. And in the West, you got the Dodgers and the Padres, who are 7 games behind. So pretty much in the NL, pretty much the Phillies and the Dodgers, I would say, are a lock to win their division. Central Brewers have a 5-game lead against the Cardinals, so if the Cardinals can get hot, maybe. And then I think the West is still up for grabs. I think the Astros could potentially win it again, which, I can't stand the Astros. Rangers, I think it's a little bit of a long shot. Central, I would hope the Twins could make a run and overtake the Guardians, but I think it's going to be more so the Guardians are going to have to slip, which at this point I do not think it's going to happen. I mean, the one thing, Twins are 7-3 in the last 10, and the Guardians are 4-6. So the Twins have gained a little bit of ground, but not a lot to make any sense. And then I hope to God the Yankees can overtake the Orioles for the AL East lead, or if the Twins, I don't want the Twins to face the Yankees in the first round of the playoffs. God damn it. But, yeah, it's kind of hard when Baltimore is 7-3 in the last 10 and the Yankees are 3-7. So, that's the MLB. I can put this back. And then, give me 1 minute to grab my next hat. I will be back. Alright, now we can talk about the Vikings. I think I meant to actually say talk about the Timberwolves, but yeah, we can talk about the Vikings. Because I do have my early predictions for how the season's going to go. And then I actually there's this playoff predictor on the internet, and of course I ran through it predicting all the games for the season, and it totally contradicts what I originally had, so that's kind of fucked up. But let's say this. So I wanted to talk about this. So ESPN had rankings of the starting positional players for each NFL team. Vikings were ranked 23rd. I'm like, what the actual fuck? It's like, first off, there's that guy. Number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. That's first off. Got Jordan Addison behind him, who he could probably be a wide receiver 1 on some NFL teams. At least the ones that are absolute dog shit. I know that guy is going to be injured on the injured list to start the season, but we did pick up Robert Tonyan, who he's not a scrub. So there's that. So yeah, and then you signed Aaron Jones to a 1-year deal, who he's going to be a terrific running back in the play action, and he's going to be a lot more productive than goddamn Alexander Madison. I so wish that they did more than just a 1-year contract with him. I wish they did like a 2 or 3 year deal, because something tells me unless Sam Darnold is absolute dog shit, he's probably going to be the starter for the season. And we might not see J.J. McCarthy for the whole season, or maybe we might see him if the Vikings are playing meaningless games down the road. We might see him then, but yeah, it sounds like Sam Darnold has really taken a turn under the tutelage, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, of Kevin O'Connell. And from the sounds of it, I have yet to hear if J.J. McCarthy, where he's at in that list of benchmarks that they've been talking about. So, but overall, when it comes to the NFL, how I think it's going to go this season, I would not be surprised if the NFC North has 3 playoff teams this year. I mean, you have to consider the Lions the favorite because they won it last year. But then you got the Packers, who once again, seems to have a franchise quarterback. Got some young studs and, added pieces on their defense. You got the Bears, who are just fucking loaded on offense. They got Caleb Williams. They got Keenan Allen. They got DJ Moore. They drafted Romeo Doomsday. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, I mean, I could honestly, I think I would say Detroit's the favorite to win just because they won it last year. I would say I give second place to Green Bay, and then honestly, I give third place to the Vikings. I mean, nothing against Caleb Williams, but he is being led by a defensive head coach. And I know their offense is going to be rock solid, but I don't know. I have to pull it up. Give me 1 second. NFL. Chicago Bears. Depth chart. Let's see if there's anyone recognizable on their defense. I mean, Montez Sweat, Tremaine Edmonds. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, there's that. Oh, and then what the fuck was I gonna... I stopped talking about the Vikings. Why did I stop talking about the Vikings? Why did I do that? So yeah, you got the depth chart. They do currently have, they have Sam Darnold as the starter, honestly, but then they have J.J. McCarthy, and then Nick Mullins, and then Jaron Hall. And then running back, it's Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler, no surprise there. Then for wide receiver, it's Jefferson, then Addison, then Brandon Powell. Tight end is Hawkinson, but of course he's injured. Oh, that's interesting. They have Josh Oliver as second under Hawkinson instead of Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan's third. Interesting. But I mean, and then I was going to continue on with my rant about the Vikings getting ranked 23rd in overall starting positions. I mean, and then you freaking got Darisaw and O'Neal as your tackles, both Pro Bowl tackles. You re-signed Dalton Reisner, who he was good for the time he was here last season. So, I mean, there's that. And then you go on the defensive side. I know you did lose Danielle Hunter, but you signed Jonathan Grenard, who he's basically a younger version of Danielle Hunter. So, and then, curious where... Okay, they have Dallas Turner as number 2, behind Andrew Van Ginkel, who is questionable. Interesting. But, I think the Vikings defense is being severely underrated because Dallas Turner is going to be a stud. Like I said, you got Jonathan Grenard. Ivan Pace Jr., that guy he's a stud. Got Jonathan Bullard, Harrison Phillips, Byron Murphy Jr. You still have Harrison Smith. I know he's old, but he's still the hitman. You have Cam Bynum. You have Josh Metellus. I really think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on the Vikings this year, which is good because usually what happens is when people sleep on Minnesota sports teams, that's when they become the dark horse. So I pray, hope to God that is true. So I talked about the NFC North. The South, there is Kirk Cousins with the Falcons, so I would have to say the Falcons. But Tampa Bay reloaded with Baker Mayfield, who I really think has turned a corner and become a good starting quarterback. They did get Mike Evans back. You got the Saints, who I think will meander around. Obviously the Carolina Panthers are trash. And then you go out west. Still have to like the 49ers, but Rams. I think Rams could contend for that division. And then you got the Seahawks, are kind of a sleeper, but I'm not really too sure about them. Arizona, young team. Got to see how Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. work together. And then you got the East, which, how many years has it been since someone's won the East in back-to-back seasons? It's been a while. So, last year was Dallas. This year I think it's going to be Philadelphia because, they reloaded their defense. They signed Saquon Barkley, which, if you are the Giants, you are just plain stupid. Like I told you, Daniel Jones is not worth $40 million. It is not. No. So I say, so the three teams from no. Crap. I'm rethinking shit. I have to see how the season goes. But I would say 3 playoff teams from the NFC North would not be a surprise. Then I would say you probably have to, Eagles will win the East. Probably have to give the Cowboys the nod for the wild card. West, I would say 49ers and then maybe Rams for the wild card, but also for the division. I think there's only one team coming out of the South, and it's probably the Falcons. So, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's one team outstanding that's going to be missing the playoffs. Maybe it's the Vikings. I don't think it would be the Rams. Maybe the Cowboys? This is probably the Cowboys' last goddamn year to do something meaningful. Because they're not going to be able to re-sign Dak. He's not worth a $60 million a year contract. Because, let me see what Spot Trek says. We go to Dallas Cowboys. He's going to have a $55 million cap hit right now. So, what does it say you're worth? Market value. Oh, interesting. He has a $55 million cap hit, but his market value is actually $53 million. So, there is that. So, I would say, I think I would have to scrub the Vikings for now. And probably put in the Cowboys, sadly enough. So, that's the NFC. And then you go over to the AFC. The North, the AFC North, I think, is completely fucking up for grabs. Sears all got him in. I think the Ravens would be favored. But, Cleveland still has a solid defense. Just got to keep Deshaun Watson healthy and make him produce. Cincinnati Bengals, unless, because I know T. Higgins is looking for a trade. If they trade him, I don't think they're going to be able to contend for the division, that is. They still could get a wild card, but and Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin just seems to somehow, some way, with whatever the fuck he has, get winning season and usually make the playoffs. So that's the North. South, I think there's only going to be one team, and I think that team's going to be the Houston Texans. Because, man, oh man, are the Houston Texans just loading up for bear. So yeah, there is that. Got the West, obviously the Chiefs. Chargers should look better with John Harbaugh at the helm. How much better, I don't know, but they should look better. I think they will be a playoff team. The East, the AFC East is a conundrum. I think the Buffalo Bills have taken a step back. I think the Buffalo Bills will be a wild card team this season. And then that leaves either the Jets or the Dolphins to win the division. I know the Dolphins are going to be dealing with some injuries on their defense to start the season, so I'm leaning towards the Jets to win the division. Now, this does not mean that I think they're going to be doing anything meaningful come playoff time. Because most likely what will happen is what am I thinking? Talked about the West, talked about the North, I talked about the South. Oh yeah, so yeah, because I think you have to give the Chiefs probably the number 1 seed. I think the Texans will be the number 2 seed. I think they're going to be a really good 2 seed. Probably Baltimore will be the 3 seed, and then I think that leaves the AFC East champion to be the 4 seed. So they could probably play Buffalo in the wild card round and actually lose that game. So there's that. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the NFL to start off the season. So we've talked about that. Now we hold the phone. One more hat change. I'll be right back. The Timberwolves. Ooh, baby. Am I excited about them? They got aggressive in the draft and traded up to grab Rob Dillingham, who is pretty much a guy that can pretty much shoot the ball from everywhere and usually get in the basket. This is very good news because Mike Conley is in his upper 30s. He probably only has like 1 or 2 years left in him. So once he's gone, Rob Dillingham will be in the backcourt with Anthony Edwards. And those guys will light up the scoreboard like crazy. This makes me so happy. Another thing that makes me happy is they got rid of Kyle Anderson. That was the one goddamn liability on the whole team. And I'm a part of the Timberwolves fan group on Facebook. I posted about that. I was like, thank God. And I got hate for it. I'm like, you people are smoking weed or, been drinking goddamn too much. I don't hate Kyle Anderson as a person. I hate him as a player, okay? He has a terrible shot form, and he shoots the ball like this. It's just so bad. It's so bad. His handle is terrible. He has bad movement with his feet. I mean, he is called slow-mo for a reason. So why was I getting so much goddamn shit on Facebook about that? I have no idea, but it is what it is. Then what else? Have yet to figure out what's going to happen, who's going to take over the ownership. The case is in arbitration right now. If Glenn Taylor is still part of the ownership come the start of the season, I wouldn't mind that. I just want Mark Lore and A-Rod to have majority. So 60-40. 60 Mark Lore, A-Rod, 40, Glenn Taylor is perfectly fine. But if you want to get really technical, 51 Mark Lore, A-Rod, 49 Glenn Taylor. Okay? Like, it's like, why can't we be friends? You know? So, anywho. So yeah, that's this little episode of Matthew Sports Talk. Don't know when I'm going to post my next episode, but I'll probably go a little bit more in depth to what I think about the upcoming NFL season. Something new that I've never had before on Matthew Sports Talk. We're going to be talking about the Olympics. Because the Paris Olympics, you know. Bum, ba bum, ba bum, 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 bum. Yeah. That's going to be later this month. So that's stuff to talk about. So yeah. Like, follow, subscribe. And I will be posting a link to my new Instagram page for Matthew Hamilton Photography. Follow me on there. I'm for hire. I can do videos. I can do photos. And it's all going to be shot right here on my trusty iPhone 12 Pro Max. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you soon, all right? Have a good one, guys.